All right, hey everyone. Today is February 1st, 2025. Today I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how to make Reuteri yogurt. We're going to be talking about a few other things as well, but I want to show you the quick and easy way that I do it. You can see all the ingredients are out. We have some of the supplies out. If you look over to the right, this is what we're going to be bringing to California, from California to Hawaii. It's going to be these items: the inulin, the yogurt maker, the thermometer, culture, some kefir culture, and then as well as we're going to be bringing the strains, and I'll be showing you guys how to make it. Hopefully to take about 5 minutes, and we'll get it squared away. All right, so this is the quick and easy way that I do it. You're going to see some other people, they make it a little bit differently. I do want to let you know that Donna Schwenk, who I consider like the Julia Childs of probiotic foods. I don't know if you remember Julia Childs. Growing up, Mom would have us watch that, but I consider her like the Julia Childs of probiotic foods. Old cook from back in the day. Fun fact, she started her career when she was 50 years old, and I think she was the first prominent woman to break into cooking. But anyway, Donna Schwenk is she really is informative. I'd encourage you to just go to her YouTube channel and just learn everything you can. You'll actually see the value of probiotic foods, cultured foods, and how they affect your health, or the lack of probiotic foods and how they affect your health. So we'll get started here. So we got some milk. We got some. This is all A2. This is the rest of Judy's half and half. This is about 16% milk fat. Then we're using some grass-fed, same thing, A2, both organic. We're going to be using that. We have some inulin. I did bring out this BNR 17 strain just to show what the bottle looks like, but don't worry about that. In this strain, we'll be using the L.Reuteri. You can see here, there's 2 strains there. This is a blend of Reuteri. You can buy this off of Amazon. You can't really get this in stores, but this is the strain that we use. You can buy any strain, but again, this is the one that's recommended by Dr. William Davis, who really pioneered this process. And then again, Donna Schwenk really teaches this along with the courses. He teaches kefir soda, cultured foods. But today, again, we're going to be focusing on making Reuteri yogurt, or cultured dairy, as she technically says. So I'll put this over here because that's going to be going to Hawaii. We have a strainer, not a strainer, what do you call this? A whisk. A tablespoon. We do have a funnel. We may or may not need this. A Pyrex. We generally tend to use glass when we make things, but you can use whatever you want. The bigger the better. You'll see here we have an extra batch. This is a batch of Reuteri that we made, I believe last week. So the reason why we're using this is because you'll actually start off with this. You crush up the tablets, about 10 of these. You crush them up in a mortar and pestle. After you crush them up, that's what you're going to use for your first batch. But you don't have to worry about that for now. But just to let you know, that's how you would start your first batch, with these tablets. Or say if you're going to use Gastrus, these are the tablets that you would use. So since we already have a batch, we're going to be using 2 tablespoons of this batch, 2 tablespoons of inulin, and then we'll be mixing it here in this pot with our milk. So to show you how quick and easy it is, I'm going to start a timer, or we're going to take a look at the time, 6:33, and we'll get started. All right. So I'm going to start this timer. First thing we do, generally we turn this up to maybe medium. I'm going to do about 2 quarts. The reason why I'm going to do 2 quarts is because these containers fit about, this is about 2 quarts, give or take. with a little bit of space. And for us, 2 quarts is going to be roughly about to there. I'm going to do mostly milk because we don't have a whole lot of half and half. And babe, feel free to pipe in on anything that you kind of experienced as well. Sorry, there's only a little bit left.
Pour it on.
So again, there's different ways to do it. This is the quickest and easiest way that I found to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up to about 85 degrees. While that's happening, the reason why you want to do that is because you want to get it to around between 98 to 102 degrees is the ideal optimal temperature. So the quicker you bring it up, the quicker you can start the culturing process. I want to put in 2 tablespoons. You don't have to be super exact. Some batches might come out stronger, some might come out weaker. This is a little bit, yeah, it's about 2 tablespoons. What's going to happen is it's going to heat this up again to about 85 degrees. We got a thermometer. I'm not sure if I showed you that. This came in a 2-pack. Oh, I see why it's 9. I was like, why is it going up?
Yeah, it is.
So I will be setting a thermometer as well. And bringing it over. So you can see right now it is, you can see it going up slowly.
Get a whisk.
Yeah. All right. What you want to do is you don't want to heat it up too hot. Now, some people recommend heating it up to, what did they say, like 180 degrees, right? If you're using pasteurized. We don't really do that. We don't really see a need to do that. We've gotten really good results, I would say. And I guess the indicator is what, babe? Like the more sour it is, the more culture. And I think what Donna Schwenk says is the more sour it is, if it loses its sourness, then you know you're not getting much of the culture. But if it gets sour, the more sour it is, that means the more of a culture or prolific culturing that you're getting. As I pick this up, what sometimes you'll see is a little bit of inulin, because this stuff will clump up. Try not to burn it. Let me see what this temperature is at. Jesus, already at 90. That was quick. Yeah, that was quick.
You gotta turn it off if you're gonna stay at
Oh yeah.
90.
Okay.
Keep in mind the more fatty your milk is, the longer it's gonna retain heat and the quicker it gets to temperature.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. All right.
And even when you turn off the heat, the residual heat will actually, like, the temperature might keep rising.
Okay. So we get about 2 tablespoons. Like I said, it doesn't have to be exact, right? Again, so 2 quarts of milk to 2 tablespoons of ULTRA.
And the temperature change from the cold original starter, that ULTRA, it was cold from the fridge, but you don't have to worry about that, putting it cold into the warm. You just have to make sure you check the temperature and mix everything in.
Okay. And you want to mix it really good. Again, this is the way we do it. Other people will start off like with a little bit of like milk, and they'll make like a slurry, which is the inulin, and they're either ULTRA powdered from the pills or from the batch that they've already made. Again, this seems to be the quickest for us. Right now we're about 5 minutes, I would say. What does the clock say? Where's the clock says 6:38. You can get a shot at the clock. Yeah, it's 6:39. So we're about 6 minutes. You could probably get this done a lot quicker with less talking. So this is mixed up pretty good. I'm gonna put this over. I'm gonna move this on the side. We didn't use any of this, but again, you can always feel free to use these items just to make things easier.
So the yogurt machine, the water's already been, did you start it?
No, it's just
Okay,
powered.
normally we already start the water to bring it up to temperature, but he didn't do that this time. So that's the yogurt machine plugged in. He's gonna set the temperature.
A little bit lower. Can you see it? So we found here in California, 93 is good, because when we set it a little bit higher, the internal temperature actually gets to about 115. You don't want it to get above 108 because the reuteri won't survive as well. You'll still get some reuteri, but
you don't want to kill them off.
Yeah. So we set it at 93. That seems to be a good temperature with the fat, like Judy said, the fat content that we prefer and the ambient temperature around here. That seems to work good for us. It might be even lower depending on how warm the temperature is wherever you are. We're gonna set it for 36 because we're about ready to get it going. So,
is there water in there?
Yeah, there's already water in there.
Okay, so there's water already in there. He set it, and it's just gonna start warming up now.
So yeah, so you just take this, again, you want to get another good mix around just to make sure. I don't see any inulin at the bottom, not really. You just don't want anything settling at the bottom. You want it to get mixed up really good. So I'm gonna start. Pour some here. So you can see some inulin is still stuck at the bottom there. Can you see that? Shouldn't be that big of a deal. And that's the reason why you want to make sure it's mixed up really good. In this case, we got it evenly distributed. So when I ordered this machine, this yogurt maker, I meant to order it with these bowls, but didn't pay attention. So you're actually going to get these 8 jars instead.
It might be easier though.
Yeah, it's easier to distribute, but you might need to use a funnel, like this, in order to pour it into the jars. But just an FYI. So this is what we got. We'll cover it up. Everything is already at temperature. The water's a little bit cold. This has been sitting out all day, but it should come up to temperature pretty. You want to give her your fix the way how you kind of brought it up to temperature, because it looks like it's missing some water. So
the water level, you want it to be, I don't know if you can see that, you want it to be kind of at the level of the milk mixture or yogurt mixture. So if it's not to temperature, we like to use our what do you call that? Just automatic water pitcher, and just watch the temperature on that, bring it up to about 80 degrees or so, and then you can just pour it in so that you can level the water there, and also it'll be at temperature. So that was kind of like a hack, I guess, however you want to call it. So you don't have to worry about the temperature dropping.
Yeah. So here what we'll do is, this is pretty much done. So we'll just put this, use this for like another batch in a few days. And we'll just use this milk. I'm probably gonna do another video and just make kefir. Maybe I'll just use these cultures here, and maybe I'll make a video about how to make kefir with just dried kefir grains. Again, this comes from Donna Schwenk's. It's called Cutting Edge Cultures. I know you can't see it, but this is her brand. Again, like I said, I consider it like the Julia Childs of probiotic foods. Very informative. I'll put a link in the description below. So this is what, again, I'll probably be bringing is kefir cultures, grains, inulin powder, right? That was an equivalent of what we had here. This. I'll be bringing some BNR 17 Gastrus, which is another one of two keystone probiotics, and then L.Reuteri tablets. This is the main one right here. The Reuteri is one of the main, probably the primary keystone bacteria that everyone should take, and 95% of the population is missing this, and it's probably growing. So this is a key one. The benefits that we've definitely seen just with Gabby when she had her issue, I think we talked about that. Judy's mother also had, when she came back from Laos, she definitely, I don't know, maybe you want to speak to that.
I don't know. I mean, she just said I gave it to her and she just started feeling better as far as her digestion goes. I don't know if there was anything really going wrong, but I do know that she had gone through years of penicillin. And penicillin intake, and so again, right, any kind of antibiotics that you've been on will kill a lot of the good bacteria in your gut. So
yeah,
and keep in mind, even if the water temperature lowers a little bit when you first start off, it's not the end of the world. It's just a matter of really time, if you want to be kind of on point, like everything to the T. But for the most part, it's not the end of the world. You just have to make sure it sits there, at that temperature, no greater than what, 115?
110 is like, yeah.
Okay, so definitely no greater than 110, because then it'll cook it off. And no less than, the temperatures can go low, but it just means it won't cultivate. So you need to keep that in mind. It'll just take longer, but you do want to keep it at about 110 for it to grow. So.
Okay.
And keep it growing for 36 hours.
Yeah, you don't try to, I believe it hockey sticks at 30 hours. Between 30 and 36 is a hockey stick effect. So that's why they tell you don't try to cut yourself short by taking out at 32. I know, I thought it kind of went up in a linear fashion, but it does not multiply or cultivate in a linear fashion. It goes a very slow rate for about 30 hours, and then it hockey sticks at between 30 and 36. Anything after 36, they said, doesn't really seem to get too much more of a benefit. So 36 is like the top of the peak of I guess quantity count of these CFUs. CFU standing for colony forming units, I think is the term. So that's pretty much it. The timer it took us, with all this talking and everything, it took about 14 minutes, just under 14 minutes. Really, without having to go through everything the way we did, you could probably get it done in, I would say probably 5 minutes.
No,
between
I would say 10 realistically. If you're doing it by yourself, I would say 10 minutes. You got to make sure you have your, all your stuff set up.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's what we'll go over when I get there. Hopefully we have time, and see you then. Thanks.